Hi, everybody. Hi, our
Hello.
family out there. Welcome back to another great episode of Mom's Pearls, where we answer life's questions from a biblical perspective. Hi, I'm your host today, Brenda, and I'm here with my lovely co hosts, Leah and Yolanda. We are all moms and we are sisters in Christ. So, everybody, it is a great episode. We are starting our episodes on how to do. How to do. What do we need to know to do? Things we need, great tips. Like you said, I didn't know that. Oh, yeah, maybe we should know that. And what we're going to start talking about today is one of our great things that we love so much more sometimes than our own children. All family, ladies, I'm talking about our vehicles. Yay! But yet we love them so much. But do we know anything about how to use them or what to do with them? No. The Bible says we should have wisdom on some things, and that includes on how to and what to do with our vehicles. Proverbs 4, 6, and 7 says, "Do not forsake the wisdom." Very important. And she will protect you, love her, and she will watch over you. Isn't that great? Fam, isn't that great to know? So we need that wisdom to know how to take care of these vehicles, right? And what to do. So you guys stay tuned. We're going to be right back with some great tips.
Mom's Pearls. Mom's Pearls. Mom's Pearls.
All right, so we are getting some wisdom and some understanding today, according to Proverbs 4, 6, and 7. And we are going to start with the basics, which is a big basic, how to change a flat tire. So I don't know if you've ever been there, want to have anything to do with it. I know I didn't want to know anything about my cars until I got stranded. And then I was like, I want to get home sooner than I can get any help. So I need to figure out how to do this myself. So I actually have changed the tire like 95% of the way by myself. My dad came at the very end and helped make sure everything was tightened. But I pretty much pulled up a YouTube video and I did it. And it didn't take as long as I thought. It was really frustrating at some parts. Some parts were fun. I think I was just overall proud that I had actually done something I never had any interest in, didn't want anything to do with. So it's a really big deal. So this just lets you know you can do it. If you have to do it, if you need to do it, if it's a must, you can get it done. It's not as hard as you think. Hopefully, y'all have smaller vehicles, big vehicle people. I'm not sure. Sorry, ladies. But however, I might not have all the answers, but we do have a quick video for you to enjoy that hopefully will shed some light and give you some more answers. Stick around.
Rev up your engines! It's come to my attention that many people no longer know how to change a tire on their car. Actually very easy, anybody can do it. You get out your lug nut remover, then step on the emergency brake so the car doesn't roll. You loosen the lug nuts while the tire's on the ground. Now you might not be strong enough to use your hands, but legs are super strong. Just put your leg on the end and off it comes. Now, women may not have strong arms, but hey, they got strong legs. They can get these things off, too, by pushing on them. If somebody comes to bother you while you're doing the work, they make good defensive weapons. And if you don't want to mess up your shoes, do like I do. Go to a hardware store and get a piece of pipe. This was in the junk pile for $2. With enough leverage, you can move anything. Then you go under the car and look for the notch. There's the notch where it jacks up. As you can see here, it fits right on the notch. And you don't need to be particularly strong. You gotta turn it quite a few times, but that makes it easy so anybody can do it. Well, maybe not your cat. Since you've already loosened all the lug nuts, now they just screw off with your hands. Now comes the old tire. And bring in the new tire. And first snug them all up. And jack the car back down. Takes a few turns, but it's easy. And last but not least, make them as tight as you can. That's how easy it is to change your own tires. So when you get a flat next time, do it yourself. More quick fixes.
Now, if you'll notice in that video, when he started, his hair wasn't sticking to his head.
Listen.
He got done.
I was gonna comment on that. I said, hopefully it was hot outside because that did not look so easy.
Right.
Because brother man was sweating. Okay.
It did not look as encouraging
It
as
takes to change the tire. He made that look like easy peasy. Nah.
It does. It really does. But I think one of the good things that he pointed out in that video is that you can use your legs, because I know when I was changing that tire, it was a point where I was just like, I'm not going to get this one. It's no way. And I started to get frustrated and annoyed. I was like, man, I'm about to jump on this bad boy. And I mean, I'm up there jumping until it came off. So I think that's really important for women to have that. And I love the fact that he said, you know, because so many times when you think about doing these things, you never know where you'll be when it happens. You never know what environment, what the situation is. And you're talking about doing something yourself means you can't get any help. So in essence, you know, you want to still be able to protect yourself while you're down there focused on your vehicle and things like that. So like he said, these are still, you know, pretty decent tools for trying to get out of, you know, if somebody walks up and something, you know, seems like it's not right or anything like that. So I love that too about the video as well.
And
I love that he had a little girl in there and she pushed the thing down, whatever it's called. I hate myself for not knowing the term of it. But she did it. She loosened that nut up, that bowl.
I love, yeah. And one good point I want to say out there to all our viewing fams, you need to know where all these accessories are in your vehicle, because all vehicles are made different. I had one vehicle where you had to lift something in the back, but I had my Pilot, and you had to screw something and the tire was underneath and the tire dropped down, and then you have to know where the lug thing is to untighten the bolts, and you know your jack. Every vehicle is different. His vehicle he did it with was very easy. Everything was just right there. In reality, most of the time it's not like that. So you don't want to be in that jam and can't find anything.
Right.
And this is all just in case you don't have roadside assistance or a family member or a friend or, you know, another guy or somebody close by that you know can help. Because, of course, ladies, we prefer to call AAA and get somebody else to come out there and do what they do. Like, do you think I'll be in the car in the air conditioning until you get done? So,
exactly.
Yes.
100%. Sit me in the AC and lock my doors and let AAA do what I'm paying them to do every month on my insurance. So family, now that we've talked about changing a flat tire, now we're going to discuss how to put air in a tire. We also have a video for this as well.
On the Scotty Kilmer channel.
These are not smooth straight across. There's like a lot of texture going on there.
This frame is
Checking your
Tabs getting in the way.
Start. Properly inflated tires will save you gas and money and get you there safely. You will need a tire pressure gauge, an owner's manual, and a service station with an air hose. Optional, spare change, and a portable air compressor. Step 1. Check your tire pressure with a gauge. Don't just eyeball it. Your tire may be underinflated and not look it. Check your tires when they are cool or first thing in the morning. It takes tires about half an hour to cool down. Step 2. Reference the gauge reading and the manufacturer's recommended pressure found on the door jamb or your owner's manual. If your pressure is low, find a service station with an air hose. Not all service station air hoses are free. Bring spare change or you may need your spare tire. Step 3. Pull your car up to the compressor and hose. You should be able to reach all 4 tires. Turn the compressor on by inserting your coins or follow the posted directions. Purchase a portable compressor and stash it in your garage or trunk. Step 4. Remove the stem cap and put it in your pocket so you don't lose it. Step 5. Place the air hose fitting on the valve stem and press down. You'll hear the air inflating the tire. If you feel the air flow around the valve stem, you don't have a tight connection. Repeat for the other 3 tires. Step 6. Read the gauge on the air hose if it has one. It will let you know when you are close to the right amount. If you're a little over, that's okay. Step 7. Check the air pressure with your own gauge. If the pressure's too high, press down on the pin inside the valve stem and let some air out. Recheck and repeat if it's still not the recommended amount. Step 8. Replace the stem caps, sit back, buckle up, and enjoy the ride. Did you know? The Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company and NASA have developed an airless tire to support large, long-range vehicles across the
Well, we know how to change a flat. Now we know how to fill our tires with air. And it's important, like you said, if you don't have enough air, that messes with your gas. You use more gas. And with these gas prices, I'm not trying to use more gas than necessary. So I will be checking my tires in the morning. Didn't know you had to check them when they were cool. I didn't know that they had to cool down to have accurate tire pressure. So this is learning for me as well. I'm one that will use roadside assistance. I will call them, have them on speed dial. Yes, come do this, handle this. But it's important that we know. That's why we're having this how-to on how to take care of your car, because if any of you were like me, that wasn't something I was worried about. I'm going to get my nails, my hair done. I'm not changing the tire or putting air in it. So here we are, getting wisdom. The Bible says get wisdom, and that's what we're here for, to get wisdom. And now putting air in my tires is one of those things I do regularly, and it's like easy peasy now. And now they have some machines where that will sense your tire pressure for you. You can put the money in the machine and you can type in how much air you need for your particular tire. So if you need 35 psi or 40 psi, you just put that in there, and while you're filling your tire, then the machine will beep once it's reached the desired pressure, and it'll stop filling that tire. I've experienced that. And so if you haven't, look for those. So those are options out there as well for filling your tires. And always make sure you put your emergency brake on, because we don't want the cars rolling around while we're trying to do this stuff.
No.
That is so cool. I did not know that they had that, because that's the thing like that I hate about putting air in the tire. It's like if you put too much, you gotta let it out. And, man, I ain't got that kind of time. And then I'm the one who does not put the stem caps in their pockets. So then when she get done, she like, oh my gosh, we get under the car. Where is it? Like, that is so me. I'm telling y'all what I have done. So put them in your pockets, I don't know, but just make sure you don't lose them, because then you look real crazy on top of crazy already, because it took you so long to put the air in the tire. Maybe you're on the wrong side. You got to switch your vehicle around. I ain't saying nothing. Okay. That's what I'm saying. And then I know, like, when I was little, before I started having to do it, I love playing with that little gauge thing. It was so much fun. It was so much fun.
Well, if you like me, I forget to put them back on. So I'll just drive away. Forget. I'll be like, oh, okay. Too late.
Well, air just leaking out little by little.
That's what I didn't know, that it's very important, everybody, to put the caps back on, because it keeps the air in your air. It will seep out if you do not put the caps back on. And ladies, if you're like me, yes, all these little tips of wisdom, and you got your nails and you love your nails. So doing these things is a messy, nasty, greasy. I don't want to touch it. Ugh. Keep the plastic gloves in your vehicles, everybody. Just go to Dollar Tree, get a bag. They come 8, the little disposable ones. Keep them in the middle compartment. When you have to, even when you pump gas, wear the gloves.
Yes, and that's a great tip. We're going to go into our pearl, and then Sister Brenda, you can come back in and give us some more info about the gloves to keep our hands nice and clean for doing all these car stuff.
So everybody, we are back with another tip and some more wisdom, ladies. Thank you so much for that, Pearl. It was wonderful. Now, ladies, fair. Do any of you know how to do a jump to jump your battery if your battery's dead? Do you? Well, I know a little something. If I have a portable, I was able to do that. My husband would have a portable one, so I knew how to just put that on there and voila, take it off, put it back in the back and keep it moving. That I good. I'm not really sure when you got to use another vehicle, what goes where. So stay tuned, everyone. We're going to watch this video with another tip.
This can be a quick fix. All you need is a running car and a set of jumper cables. First, park the two vehicles about an arm's length apart. Be sure neither of the vehicles are running and set the parking brake. Typically, the two terminals on each battery will be covered in red or black with a positive or negative sign on top. Red clamps are always first. Attach both red clamps to the positive terminals, first on the dead battery, then the working battery. Black clamps are second. Attach the partnered black clamp to the negative terminal on the working battery. Now attach the other black negative cable clamp to an unpainted metal part of your car. This can be a clean nut or bolt on the engine block. Start the working vehicle and then let it run for a moment or two. Now try starting your dead vehicle. It should start up. If not, try revving the engine of the working car. Once it's running, disconnect the jumper cables, starting first with the black cable clamps, then second with the red cable clamps. Finally, take a short drive to help recharge the battery. Now you can jumpstart your car yourself.
Now look at here. Can we say AAA?
Listen, or YouTube. Don't look, ladies. Don't freak out about all this information. These videos are on YouTube. You can pull up YouTube 24/7 and say, now, what do I do again? Because I know that's what I would be doing. If I need to jumpstart a car, I'm like, okay, walk me through it. Come on. That's what I did when I had to change the tire. Walk me through it step by step.
Yeah.
That's make it a little bit easier for you if you don't have AAA.
But wait a minute. You're forgetting the key thing you need. You need another vehicle. Working vehicle.
More portable, like she said before.
If you can't find anybody that's available to come out there, so you need to have those cables. Now you get out there, okay, which goes first? Red, black, what?
Red first.
That's true. It does help to have your own cables, you know, just in case you do find a car and they don't have their cables. You know, it's good to have cables in your vehicle that you can provide.
And one note that I'll add to that, because I experienced it, make sure your cables are long enough and that you know where your stuff is in the car. Because if your cables aren't short enough to go from your battery to past your hood, you're not going to be able to get what you need. So make sure that you check the cables that you have and ensure that they are long enough to stretch out, because I had that problem. I had another vehicle that was going to come and give me a jump. They didn't have cables. I did. I was like, sweet, I'm prepared. But my cables were too short.
Oh, I thought they came a standard size, you know, to reach another vehicle.
I did too. No.
Wow.
So check your stuff. So after this, make sure we are checking our equipment. It is so important that we know what we have in our car. And I know I'm notorious for having a bunch of stuff in my trunk. I got all these kids, so I got a big vehicle and I take stuff because you never know what you're going to need. But let's be mindful of what we have, because if we do get a flat, we're going to have to take all of that stuff out and it's just be spewed on the street. So let's check what we have and just be ready.
Hey. All these tips of wisdom, you know, fam, we hope that it was helpful to you, that you learned something, because we truly have learned something. And just to know, have your stuff. Take inventory of your vehicle now. After you watch this episode, go make sure that you have gloves, make sure you have cables, make sure you know where all the accessories are for changing of the tire. Even if somebody else is there that can change your tire, you need to know where to show them. Like, okay, this is here, that is there. You need all of these things. We need to have wisdom. We need to know how to do, what to do. And by all means, stay safe if you come into these kind of situations.
Yes.
You know, how to make sure your oil is up to date. We have to have our oil up to date. Change your oil every like 3,000 miles. That's a must to have a good running vehicle. Fam, just
all right.
Be cautious. Be cautious and think. Just think.
We have another video. We have a video on checking our oil. So we're not going to leave you high and dry on that either. So we have this video on how to check your engine oil.
Oil is a pretty simple thing, very important, that I believe that everyone should know how to check their oil. Generally speaking, the oil dipstick on most cars now is labeled. This one says engine oil. But you pull it out and immediately wipe it off because there's going to be oil splashed up on the stick from the engine running. So we want to start with a clean stick. Then we put it back in. The car, of course, is on a level surface, so we're getting an accurate reading. And then we can look at our level, and you see there are two dots on this particular one. Sometimes they're lines, sometimes it is a crosshatch area, but you want to be at or near the top dot or line. That's the full mark. You'll notice on this car the oil is nice and clean. That's the way we want it to look. And also that the dipstick itself is nice and clean. This is something that you can look at on a car, and if the dipstick is very dark and discolored, that would indicate to me that the car has not had regular oil changes. This is an older vehicle. It's got a fair amount of miles on it, and yet the dipstick is still nice and shiny clean because this customer has taken good care of his car and done regular oil changes. But you always, if when in doubt, wipe it off, check it a second time. Make sure that it's right at that full mark.
All right, so when you take your car in to get the oil change, they'll know if you've been taking care of your car right by the color of your dipstick. So check,
I can do
check
that.
the engine
I know
oil.
how to do that.
Yeah.
You know how to change the
Now-
oil?
Easy. Sticking it in, bringing it out, checking it. That's easy.
Yes, I know my car, it'll give me a notification when my oil is at a certain percent when it's time to get it changed. But all cars aren't like that. In the video, that car was older. If you're driving an older model car, make sure you're checking your oil. I like to check my fluids before I'm going on a road trip because I don't want to be stuck on the side of the road because I ran out of oil or my transmission fluid was low or coolant was low or whatever. I check the oils before you go on a road trip. Make sure you have a rag in the car to wipe that dipstick off. We used to call people dipsticks, and that just made me laugh. I'm sorry.
I laughed when she said it says right here on the label engine oil. I'm like,
yes.
I feel
so
slow.
they are dummy proofing some of this stuff, so to speak. And the battery has a red, has a black. It's standard for all vehicles, a red and a black, a plus and a negative. And it's easy, ladies. Let's not be afraid of this stuff. We can do it. Get you some gloves and a rag and let's get to it. And don't be afraid to do it. And always check your oil, like she said, on a level surface, because if you're on a driveway with a slant, you're not going to get an accurate reading. And your vehicle has to be cooled down when you check your oil. So make sure you check that in the morning as well before you start your travels, or if you've been sitting for a while, check your oil. So
yes.
I'll be
And
honest,
another
I don't
important
like
thing,
checking oil. because I can't, like, I have had so many people show me, they'll be like, you see this right here? You see how, yeah, I see it. No, I don't see it. I honestly don't see it.
You're just not interested.
I can't tell. Like, look, sign me up for changing the tires, sign me up maybe for putting some air in it, maybe jumping your car battery, but that oil change is somebody else's business. Because I be looking like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't see no lines. I don't, maybe my glasses. We'll see.
Well, everybody, don't be like Leah. You got to stay up on your oil levels and your oil changes, because if you don't and that oil runs out and dries up, it will seize your motor, your engine will go, you won't have a vehicle at all. And then that's when the ching, it costs you. So that's a very important thing, that you have to stay on top of your oil levels and your oil changes to have a nice, smooth running vehicle.
Yes, and the oil, if it's hot, it'll burn you. So that's another reason why to make sure it's cold, not just to get an accurate reading, because it'll burn you. It's oil. The car's hot.
Yes, that engine gets very, very hot.
Yes.
So you do want to be careful of that at any point. I mean, you lift up that hood and just everything under there. You want to make sure that it's cool. Take your time. We still cute with it, so we can let it be cool. We can do what we need to do. These videos are on YouTube, so feel free to access them and any other information. Use what you have. Use your Google, whatever the case may be, to help you get the job done. But like we were just saying, it's just so important to have these basic things done. There's so many other things to it, but it's important to take that inventory of what you have in your car, what you don't have, what you might need to get. So I didn't know that about the shorter jumper cables either. So
yes, that was good. That was good info right there. Thank you so much for that, Yolanda.
Frustrating lesson to learn.
I would think, like, basically they would just make sure they're long enough. Like, that was a malfunction, I think. You got to recheck on that one. So, fam, this was a great episode. Ladies, thank you so much. We learned a lot of things. We learned about how to change a tire, how to check your oil, how to jumpstart your vehicle. We got some great tips today. It was so useful. We have to know one thing though, everything have wisdom when we're doing these things. If this happens to you, you're out there driving, use wisdom. Safety comes first. Make sure you're safe. Another good tip is have roadside assistance. If it's with your insurance or you have AAA, have some kind of roadside assistance, because it might be at nighttime. Who wants to get out there in the middle of this night and it's dark on the highway where there's no lights to be changing a tire or doing any of that? Nah, that's out. So that's right there is not safe. Have your gloves when you are able to do it. Keep them. You can get them at Dollar Tree. What is it, $1.25 now? But still, you get 8 in a pack. Always comes in handy. And also when you're pumping gas. And protect the nails. Yeah.
A must.
So it's a must. Remember, Proverbs, what it says? Wisdom. Yes, God gives us wisdom. So let's take advantage of it. Use it wisely. We want everybody to be safe out there on these roads. Drive safely for you and for all on the roads. Ladies, thank you so much for all your helpful tips. Remember, we are Mom's Pearls. Come back every Tuesday where we answer life's questions from a biblical perspective.
Mom's Pearls.